All right, got you moved in here. I got a new light. Hopefully it's working well. I'm still working out, how to use it and with minimal glare and stuff. I think the overall tone of the light is an improvement. Um, I really like this track that we're using today, the feel of it, and it's just a bluesy kind of simple track, but I think it turned out well. It's got a little bit of a vibe to it, so we'll have some fun with this one. And chord-wise, we've got 3 chords here. It's not a 12-bar blues pattern, the backing track, but it's the same chords that you would use to make a 12-bar. The 1, the 4, and the 5 in A. And each one of the chords is a typical dominant 7th, flat 7 in each one of those chords. Okay, and I hung out on a couple of the chords longer so that you really have time to practice these skills and you're not just kind of trying to race through the blues scale, the whole time or whatever. But since we mentioned our friend the blues scale, of course it's going to work brilliantly with this progression with an A root. Okay, so and we're going to use that, but we're gonna mix that up with some more kind of slightly technical stuff here that may be new to you that I think will open some doors for you. I hope so. So let's start with the A7. We got our triad would be for root 3rd 5. We take that up to include the flat 7. Okay. And really lean on that flat 7. That's what I was doing in that demo at the beginning. I was really ending phrases on it and just kind of hanging out. But here's your routine for the first part of this. And we're just going to work on the A, really, because the other ones you can just plug it in to different roots, okay? A good way to practice is to make the chord statement, then play the arpeggio. Because that kind of helps you bond, your ear with that, right? Or. Now, let's just take that and plug it in. We'll have to wait to see. That's the D. Okay, there's a little extra stuff in there, right? Not to, run away with it or anything, but just to show you that once you feel satisfied with a simple pattern like that, go ahead and start bouncing around, dancing around with it. Little blues scale. You know, and before too long, you'll be using that in a real improvisational way, and not just mechanically practicing it. But at first, we do mechanically practice it, right? And that's how we get there. So, um, that can that you could we could stop right there today, and that would be something you could spend a fair amount of time on, because you'd also want to go up and do it on other octaves. Okay, so you want to be able to not just visually memorize those, but just hear that in different places as well. So if you're satisfied with that though, and you still want to do something, um, check this out. And keep going. That's the 9. That's the second note in your scale. Right? It's called the 9th when you're speaking of it as a chord tone. Oh, there's another one. Walk it back down that scale to that flat 7. That's a good blues lick. It's just our arpeggio, but it's musical in and of itself. Let me slow that down. Okay, if it works there, guess what? It's going to work here. And here. I had to think about that for a second, didn't I? I was trusting my ear, but I didn't want to make a mistake. Okay, so if you get up here, you don't want to, it gets clunky up here, it gets crowded, for that kind of lick. Figure out how to do it down at the same notes in a lower position. That's really good work. That'll take you far. Now, let's try that with our track and do a little bit of. First, I'll just do it real straight like that. And then I'll start, having a little fun with it, mixing a little bit of that blues scale in there with that. See what we can come up with. Here's that A. All right. Now, I'm still being real mechanical with it, but even at that, kind of cut and paste method that I just did, that was starting to loosen up a little bit when I put a little bend in here, just a little basic blues lick here and there with it. And, watch the video a couple times, back it back up to where I really mapped those things out clearly a couple of times, and then get to that backing track at the end and really start integrating that stuff. Figure out how to do it in different areas. Trust your ear. Good stuff. Start happening. There's one other thing I want to show you, and it's really more of the same, but just in that intro, I did a lot of these moves, like. Now, it's just a higher octave of. Okay? But I started on the third a lot and bent to that seven, flat seven. Then. Yeah, well, now that sounds good without even having the chords behind you, but this is really gonna come to life here. I put in a few of my own little licks there, things that I like to do. You have things that you do that you're already comfortable with. They're already part of your language. You don't get hung up on, oh man, I gotta do it just like that. No, do it like you. And it's going to come out a whole lot better than you might think it is. And that's a cool thing. And when you really start buying into that and that starts paying off for you, that's really exciting. So try all this stuff out. Work it into your program. Have fun with it. And let me know how you're doing. I'll talk to you next time.